Harry, who's doing a bit of pike fishing. He's using a spinner, and he's just shown me on his phone he's been catching some nice big pike. Look, maybe about 4 pounds, 5 pounds, big pike.
Yeah, it's morning.
Is that this particular stretch of the canal?
Yeah, this canal.
Yeah.
You know,
oh, very good.
that's
Where are you
good.
from, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm from Poland.
From Poland?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
it's
that's
6 years right now. I'm over here.
Yes. Are you enjoying it here?
Oh yeah, so nice. Better.
Very good. Very nice to speak to you.
Nice
Best
to
of
see
luck with
you.
your fishing.
Okay.
Oh, bye-bye now. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Good morning. It's 10 o'clock on Saturday the 15th of August, and I'm in Burnley heading west towards Accrington. I was up early this morning and drove the van up to a place called Hapton, which is probably midway between here and Accrington, and left it there by the bus stop, actually not far from the bus stop where I caught the bus. I did have an option of catching a train, but the train services have been withdrawn because of the COVID situation, and I must admit the bus journey was quite strange really. Having read the internet this morning for bus times, they didn't resemble what was actually displayed at the bus stops, and not knowing which way the buses were running, whether Burnley was to the sort of east or west, I turned up to catch the bus, but it was the bus to Accrington, so I had to wait another hour, went back to the van, and the first bus that was available was about 8:30, so that's why I'm a little bit later starting than I wanted to, but it doesn't really make any difference. It just meant that I went back to the van and sat for an hour and did some more computer work and replying to people, and I'm pleased to say that many people are still writing, and it's a great pleasure to have more people on board, and for the new people, I welcome you, and it's very nice. Thank you very much indeed. The last time you actually saw me walking was on Thursday, when I walked up here to Burnley, and I took Friday off, and as you saw, I went to see my friend Chris Simpson, who was the founder member and main man in the band Magna Carta, and what a wonderful session that was. We had 2 or 3 hours together chatting away about music and our likes and dislikes, and it was really good. I really thoroughly enjoyed it, and what I need to say really is, obviously every day can't be like East Martin, and this is Burnley. It's an industrial town. It was more or less built on this canal. I mean, Burnley was here first, but obviously a lot of the things came after that, because this was opened in the sort of late 1700s, early 1800s, this section. I'm not entirely sure of the history, so I don't want to mislead you in any way, but you can see that it's been very busy, and the number of mills, and this area would have been famous probably for cotton and textiles, and but the barges would have also been passing here with things like limestone and coal and all that kind of thing, heading for Liverpool. And it twists and bends around Burnley. I've just walked along a stretch that's about a mile long, but I think as we come to the outskirts it will change, because the scenery in East Lancashire is quite similar to the scenery in West Yorkshire or North Yorkshire, and I got a glimpse of that this morning coming on the bus, and there are some quite steep hills as well. There's 1 or 2 cyclists around. It's coming to life a little bit now that it's 10 o'clock, and the weather looks a bit dismal now, and there's quite a strong wind, and fortunately it's at my back, but it does look as if it might get warm again. But just in case it doesn't, I've got like a fleece which is quite warm, and that'll keep me, comfortable, and when I need to take it off I can just simply put it in my rucksack, and I've got some extra water with me today, and so that will lighten as I go along. But I'm looking forward to this. It's nice to be away from it a little bit, and nice to just go for a long walk and do all the thinking that I usually do. And I'm hopeful of getting to Blackburn probably in the next couple of days. So, not quite sure how far it is. I would imagine it's going to be about 8 to 10 miles. But when I get there to Hapton, if I feel strong, and depending on the time and one thing and another, I could carry on to Accrington and then get a bus back, leave the van where it is, and then get a bus back from Accrington to Hapton. But it's that's a decision to make later. I'll see how I feel, and in the meantime, I'll get on my way. So, here we go. Here I am at the inn on the Wharf, which apparently now is closed down then, and I've met these two chaps. And what do you know about this? It used to, I bet it was a bit of a place in its time, wasn't it?
It were. It used to be a really good place in summer.
Yeah.
But now, just like everything else, it's all shutting down.
Yeah, yeah. I reckon there will come the day when they'll probably reopen it. I don't know how big it is or the number of people you can get in it. But
it's very big. It is a big place. And they've got function rooms all upstairs. And
right.
Yeah.
So you've just cycled up from Hapton?
Well, we come from Barrowford, Hallsack, and we've just been to Hapton and back, just trying to get a bit of weight off.
It's a quaint little place, isn't it?
It is, yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, as I say, I parked my van there, and that's where I'm walking to now. And if I feel okay when I get there, I can walk onto Accrington and then get the bus back to the van. That's my intention. And making my way towards Blackburn and that way on. So can I just have a quick look at these bikes? I mean, just look at this monster. That looks like serious. Look at those tyres. That's fantastic, isn't it? So, how many miles a day do you do then when you're on your little ride?
Not many.
Not many.
Not many, no.
Yeah. We're trying. We're making a start out. We're building.
Well,
you've got
to. You know, I'll be honest with you. When I lived abroad and I came back, and I was a big guy like you, and I've got down to nearly 11 stone now.
That's great, yeah.
And I'm still
we're both doing it together and trying bit by bit better ourselves each week.
That's the way to do it.
Thing.
Do you have a sort of a mile counter or anything like that then?
He has on his phone, yeah.
Yeah, on my phone.
Yeah.
Probably do about 10 miles.
Yeah.
That's enough to start with.
Are you from Barrowford, did you say? Or
both from Burnley.
Yeah.
Both from Burnley, yeah. Yeah, it's the first time I've really looked at. I've been to Burnley to see. I won't tell you my team. Well, I'll tell you my team. Hull City.
Yeah.
Hull City. We got relegated this year, but we got a few good battles over the years at Burnley.
Yeah. Dean Windass.
Dean Windass, that's right.
Windass
yeah, I know Dean Windass. I was born on the same estate as him actually. My dad used to work for Hull City at one time, and him and Dean Windass used to get on really, really well because we knew each other from living on the same estate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Do you watch the football yourself?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, Burnley have done pretty well over the years.
I just thought we can keep on at manager because best manager we've ever had.
Well, I was going to say that. You know, it's all right getting into the Premier League. That's the easy bit. It's keeping in there, and he's done ever so well, really, because he's still there and he's still doing well. And what's his name? Sean Dash. Sean Dash.
Looks a bit like him actually, but ginger.
Like him. Lovely to see you, lads.
All the best, Jim, and have a great walk and
thank you very much.
Yeah.
Safe journey. I followed your page on Facebook and I've got your Jim's Coastal.
That's lovely, mate.
I wish you all the best.
Have a good look at it. I mean, I talk to anybody, to be honest, cyclists and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
There are one or two crazy ones, to be honest, who think they're at a velodrome. You know, they get on my nerves. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Have us break when we want. There's no pressure then.
Yeah. Very nice to meet you, lads.
You too, all the best.
Okay,
Thank
cheers.
you.
Thank you. Bye now. Bye. Look at this. This is incredible. You can imagine this like 200 years ago, can't you? Look at the size of it, it's fantastic. The Wharf Inn. What a shame it's closed. I mean, and you know, you could have hundreds of people sitting out here in the right weather. And even though it looks a little bit dank, you know, at the moment, and some of those trees could come down on the other side, but what a lovely location. Well, I've just reached the 56 mile marker now, and so I've just asked a question of Tommy, who I've just met, and how far is it? And he's saying it's probably about another half hour to Hapton, which means I'm probably going to carry on to Accrington. So is this your daily walk with your little dog then, Tommy?
Yes, I'm
Where is
usually
she?
on there.
There she is. Oh, hello.
Usually on there about 3 times a day.
Three times a day,
yeah,
that's lovely.
yeah.
And so you live somewhere nearby then?
I live just over there.
Oh, right. Oh.
There's some new bungalows.
Oh, right. Very nice.
New bungalow.
Is it a nice area to live then?
The bungalows are very nice.
Yes.
But round here it's kind of a little bit sort of derelict, lots of empty houses.
Really?
You know, yeah, on that side of the canal.
Why is that then? Why that's unusual in this day and age, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I think it's just got a little bit run down and,
Oh, right.
you know,
Yeah.
everything's sort of closing down, the shops are closing down,
Yeah.
you know.
This had a massive effect, this, you know, on businesses and everything, hasn't it? You know,
it
and the
does,
people and what have you, you know. It's
Yeah.
In Burnley, I was in Burnley early this morning, around about sort of 9ish, and it was like a ghost town.
Yeah.
And I didn't know, and there was a COVID testing station actually just right by the canal.
Near Tesco's. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
I thought about going and seeing if I was all right, but I thought, well, what if I'm not?
That's right. Yeah. It's a major worry, isn't it?
Yeah, thinking, oh, bloody hell, what am I going to do about my camper van? It's miles away. You know what I mean? But, so no, I think I would have caught it by now, to be honest.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, I've walked around Britain as well. I've done 4,300 miles, and I was in Scotland at the beginning of the year. And the police stopped me and said, "We don't." She probably said, Nicola Sturgeon doesn't want the English here. You're going to have to go home.
Yeah.
So after months of my knees are getting stiff, so I thought, well, I've got to do something. So I decided to do this.
Yeah.
You know, just to get myself back in shape. And
Yeah.
my knees are all right, you know, and my general fitness has always been pretty good. But it's a very different kind of walk, but it's most enjoyable. And I meet lovely people like you as well, Tommy.
Yeah. It's a nice, once you get out of the town, you get in the countryside, it's really
different,
nice,
that's
you know.
right, that's right. You get plenty of thinking time.
Yeah,
Nice to meet you, mate. There's one or two
Good to
people
see
coming
you.
down on bikes, so be careful.
Yeah, come here, Bob.
All right.
Come here.
Here we are. We've suddenly got a rush of people. Morning, mate. Morning. Let's let these two past.
Come here.
There they go. All right. Morning. Morning.
Okay.
Lovely to see you, Tommy.
Right,
Yeah.
good
Look
to
after
see you.
yourself.
Jim.
Jim, yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks
Cheers
very
now.
much, Jim.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye now.
Enjoy the rest of your day. And,
Thank you.
I'll maybe see you again sometime.
Yeah.
Huh?
Well, you can.
Yeah, I'll look you up now.
There's loads of films. If you go onto my site on YouTube, press playlist, and it opens up all the films I've made.
Yeah.
Even walking around Great Britain, you can see that.
Yeah.
And there's lots of other films. There's one that my wife and I, our father-in-law, made when we did a run on the Liverpool Canal and hired a boat and everything.
Yeah.
That's lovely. That's been seen by a lot of people.
Yeah.
So you might enjoy something like that.
I shall have a look at some tonight. Yeah.
Cheers, mate.
Classic.
Nice to meet you.
Always will.
Nice to meet you.
Okay.
Bye now. Nearly 12 o'clock now, and I'm about I was speaking to an older chap walking with a dog, very nice guy, very nice dog as well, and he said I was about half an hour from Hapton, which I suggest is going to be somewhere, the speed I'm walking, that's going to be probably a mile and a half, and looking forward to getting there. The van is very close to the bridge actually that goes over. There's a come-back bridge, and I'll walk back to the van and sit and have a bit of a rest and have a cup of tea and something to eat in the van, and then I'll consider about whether I'm going to actually carry on to Accrington, and I'll get my maps out and have a look at the detail, because say it's only 12 o'clock. The sun came out momentarily, that went back in again, and it's absolutely still now. The wind has dropped, and I've taken my hat off just for a while, but if the sun comes out again, it'll be going back on again. But I know there's not a great deal to see, and I know it all looks a little bit mundane, but I do apologise for that. But it is the Leeds Liverpool Canal, and it's no good just picking out the good bits, because you've got to know, especially if there's any more walkers who watch this, they might find it interesting with the mileposts and the cyclists. And I have been in touch with quite a few people who especially the cyclists who were cycling the full distance, to let them know if there's any blockages or any problems and all that kind of thing. And got quite a nice little banter with one or two of them now, which is very nice. And it's lovely to be out here today, and it's a lot busier actually, the roads and everything, the motorways and God knows what, you know, it's amazing. This canal, I know I keep going back to it, 200 years old. I mean, can you imagine what it would have been like in a place like Burnley? This would have been like the M1 going right through the middle of Burnley, the modern way of travelling, and now we've got motorways everywhere. But it is good, and I'm not going into the deep history. You can find it out for yourself if you want to. If you go onto Wikipedia, it tells you everything about what's going on. I don't want it to be a kind of a geography or a history lesson particularly. It's just the people that I meet and the atmosphere and all the rest of it, and that's my intention of the walk. And also, as I said, the mileposts are quite useful because you can actually mark where a place is if you're going to do the walk yourself, or if you're going to walk a section of it, or if all you people who live abroad fancy coming over for a holiday. I'm quite sure that you wouldn't want to miss Skipton out the next time you come through if you want that kind of country holiday. So I hope it does serve a purpose, and you know, as I said to you before, I'm very pleased with the way people are watching it, and that's all I need to do. And as far as why am I doing it, really, well, when I'm dead and gone, which might be sooner than you think, if I just want people to watch this, and this will be a piece of history. And as for sort of making any money from it, I'm not going to make any money from it at all at the moment, but my grandchildren might when I am dead and gone, and it might be a bit of a legacy for them. And to illustrate that, the narrowboat holiday in 2017, it's been watched by over 100,000 people now, and I'm very proud of that, and proud of the films and all the rest of it. And there's a lot of people who actually watched that film, the narrowboat holiday, that are now watching this as well. So I'm delighted, and that was one of my kind of intentions, to try and draw their attention to there's more to canals than just narrowboats. So when I get to Hopton, I'm going to pop in there, as I said before. If the railway pub's open, I'll go and have a look at the railway pub. But this place, this area, Blackburn and Burnley, are very affected by the COVID situation, so I'm keeping myself to myself as much as I possibly can, and I can't think for 1 minute that I'm unsafe walking the coast path. So I'll carry on. Hi. Go on, give us a wave. Well, it's not often that I stop and speak to cyclists, but this is Dean. Are you Dean?
I'm Dean.
And you're Robbie.
I'm Robbie, yeah.
So what's this about today then, Robbie? You're obviously going out for a day?
No, we're just going out for a couple of hours, just along the canal. Yeah, just going to go down to Burnley and back.
Yeah.
Just stretching the legs, really.
That's a decent run, isn't it, really? You know, it's easy, you know, it's nice and easy. I mean, obviously beans to flatten everything. And,
that's it.
Yeah. And I know you were saying that you're just getting your fitness back. I assume you've had a bit of a layoff and everything.
Off the bike, spend most of the time at the gym, don't spend enough time on the bike, so at least once or twice a week I try to get out and try and keep up.
I would imagine walking's a bit slow for you, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think that's why a lot of people do cycling, because walking's a slow trudge, isn't it? I mean,
that's it.
you know, I'm walking usually the same speed as the boats.
Oh yeah.
You know, you're only doing
yeah,
about sort of 2.5, 3 miles an hour, but
Yeah.
I quite like that, because I'm the same. I'm getting my fitness back as well,
Yeah.
and I'm really pleased with it. And you know, my knees are getting right back to normal now, so I'm pleased. Are you local lads there?
Yeah, we're just from Accrington.
From Accrington?
Yeah.
Oh right, that's interesting. How far is Accrington from here then?
For me, I would say about 4 mile.
4 miles to Accrington.
4 miles or something.
Oh yeah, well I'll make it to Accrington then.
I'm sure you will, yeah.
Yeah.
With
No,
your
what I mean is,
experience.
well, yes, thank you. No, but I've got to sort of do this like one step at a time,
Yeah.
and if I push myself too hard,
Yeah.
you know, having been inactive for so long,
Yeah, that's
you know,
it.
that 3-month layoff just absolutely did
Yeah,
for
it's a
me.
lot.
You know,
Yeah.
I was either in my sleeping bag, because I had to rent a house. To be indoors, and I was in the sleeping bag or on a seat looking at the laptop. That was the only two positions that I was in.
Yeah, not good.
And you know,
Yeah.
lovely to meet you lads.
I've been
You too.
eating.
I was just saying, I'm really pleased to see that you two lads are responsible lads, because there was 4 guys went down here. They must have been doing 30 miles an
past
hour.
us actually, yeah.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. You know, they were really bang out of
Terrifying.
order.
Yeah.
I hate these cyclists in this lycra stuff and all the rest of it, who think they're in a velodrome.
No
You know,
like it for us. We don't wear like
No,
it.
they get guys like you a bad reputation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nice to see you, mate.
You too, Jim. Nice to meet you.
Yeah. And have a look on YouTube tomorrow.
We will do, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice
Nice
one,
to meet
lads.
you. Take care.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Bye
you.
now. Bye. Tavern, which is where I caught the bus this morning, and this is Martin, who's the owner or the manager, the owner.
Yeah.
Okay, how long have you been here, Martin?
8 years.
8 years.
8 years.
Yeah. So I mean, I suppose the obvious question is how did you survive COVID? You've got through it, and you're doing all right.
We own the building, so we'd no rent to pay or mortgage or anything like that. So
Yes.
we got through it. Pretty good, really.
Oh well, that's pretty.
We had a
good.
nice rest.
Yes. And you've got the canal. What, 150 yards up the road? Do you get any of the canal people in?
Not this year. Last year we got every day we got different people in off the canal, but there don't seem that many people knocking about these days.
Well,
especially on boats.
For obvious reasons, I'd say. I mean,
Yeah.
there's very few people actually renting boats.
That's right. Yeah.
There are now that.
Yeah.
But you know, in this area particularly, you know, I'm not saying it's a bad press or anything, but people are saying Blackburn and Burnley is probably the worst affected area of the country.
True. That is true.
So that's probably the reason.
Yeah.
You know, people are. I've noticed there's very little.
Yeah, they won't come.
Very little.
They
You know,
won't come.
there is around Skipton, but there's not much further on. You know.
No, that's right.
And I've spoken to a few people who are actually on the way to Liverpool, because you know, they're doing the same speed as me, aren't they?
Yeah, well, yeah.
You know
4
what I mean?
miles an hour or whatever it is.
Yeah, but there's not that many, and I've only seen 3 boats today, and usually you see dozens.
Yeah, there you go.
That's the answer to that. Yeah.
There you go.
Well, I always like to drop in and have a cup of tea
Nice to see you.
in the pubs and everything.
Nice to see you. Yeah.
Thank you very much,
You're
Martin.
more than welcome. Anytime.
Yeah, great stuff. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye.
So it's 2:30 now, and I've just been for a cup of tea in the railway pub here at Hapton, and then I went back to my camper van, which is only maybe about 100 yards from there, and had another couple of cups of tea and an hour's rest and a sandwich, and topped up my water, the tunic that I had on this morning. I've left that behind in the van, and I've put my yellow coat in the back, and I can always come back for that if I need it. And so I've decided to walk the 4 miles from here to Accrington, which means I've already done 10k today, as you've seen, and another 4 miles, so that's 6 miles, so another 4 miles now, that'll be 10 miles. And the weather's cooled off, it's cloudy, it's got a little bit more windy. I'm definitely not going to be suffering like I did the other day. I'm wearing a hat, so there's no sun on my head, and I'm up for it, and I've learned my lesson. I won't do it again. I'm an experienced walker, I should have known better, but I just got so used to the weather in 2018 when I could walk for miles and miles and miles, and my legs were perfect. Well, they are definitely getting back now to normal, and it's time I started to put a bit of muscle on my legs and just speed up my pace a little bit. So I am doing it gently, even though, yeah, we all make mistakes. I made my mistake, and I'm looking forward to this. Well, I had a cup of tea in the pub in Hapton, as I told you, and I went to my camper van and had another couple of cups of tea and a black pudding sandwich, and I'm making my way now to Accrington, and I've got about 4 miles to go thereabouts, and I bumped into this gorgeous group of ladies who were out on a keep fit mission, and they've got a can of beer to go with it. It's a combination of a keep fit mission and a Saturday night out at the same time. This is what they told me. So let me just get some names. Your name is?
Rhiannon.
Rhiannon.
Nadine. Shirley. Tracy.
And Tracy. So seriously, girls, is this like a family do where you've all sworn to get yourself down to, you know, a particular size, or is it just a bit of a laugh?
It's a social gathering,
yes,
because you can't really do proper social gatherings at the minute.
No.
So this is our kind of social gathering while staying a little bit healthy at the same time.
A little bit
fitter. Sometimes this cancels out the walking.
It can do, yeah.
But you know.
Yeah, I only drink tea in the pubs during the day, but I drink a lot of beer on a night, and that's my way of doing it. Plus the fact I've always got to drive with my van, you see. So I've got to, I can't, you know, I'm not being silly about it, you know. So is this more or less the same track that you take each time?
Yeah, we do the same one every week, yeah.
All right, well that's great. That's great. And so what do all your boyfriends or your husbands or what do you think of it? Do they all think you're bonkers?
We leave them behind.
You do?
Yeah, definitely.
And they go to the pub as well?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's good.
I mean, sometimes we've extended our walk and gone home in quite a state.
Yes.
And they've not been too impressed, but...
Right. Well, you don't want to bring them with you, do you?
No.
You want to, you know, that seems like a bad idea.
Yeah. These girls all.
And also, they always say no anyway when we invite them. Like, no, you're fine.
I think they're happy for a little bit of freedom at home without us girls.
PlayStation.
Well, yeah, or football or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. And do they take you out on a Saturday night as well as a bit of a celebration, or? You know?
No, we tend to go home and sleep. We do a Zoom quiz on a Saturday as well.
Right. It's been lovely to meet you. A lovely bunch of ladies, and you know, it's great to see you out here. So I'm going to go now and leave you to it, and you know, just go take it easy with your beer.
Too late.
Do you want me to give you a piggyback back to Accrington?
I've had to do that before now.
Yes, that is true. That is true.
Nice to meet you.
Go on the rest of your journey as well.
Give us a wave then. All right.
Good luck. Bye.
Bye now.
Bye.
How was that? Are we all in?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's lovely. It's 4:45 now, and I've come off the towpath after getting some advice from an elderly dog walker who said that this is by far the best way. Unfortunately, I'm on the wrong road to go out of town back to Hapton and Burnley. I'm on the Blackburn road actually, which is a different direction, so I'm going to get a bus into the bus station and see what happens from there. It's been a good day. I've managed to do over 20,000 steps. I feel great and feeling quite happy with myself because I've had no ailments whatsoever. And I've managed, I haven't collapsed, nothing like that. So I'll see if I can work something out for tomorrow. I want to have a good look at the bus service and all the rest of it, and hope to make Blackburn tomorrow.